Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for making time to join us for this lunchtime session on healthcare marketing in the age of AI. So, I am going to be hosting this alongside Natalia. So, thank you all for making time. We have participants from both Singapore and Malaysia joining us. So, a quick introduction about what we're going to be covering over the next 45 minutes to an hour. So, could go to the next slide. So for the next 45 minutes, we're going to be looking at how things have changed. So we all know there is a lot of AI now. People are talking about chatbots, ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, Perplexity AI. How the patient is looking for medical services for clinics has changed. The patient journey has changed. We're going to be looking at organic search strategies. We're going to talk about what is GEO or AI SEO. These are terms that you might have heard of coming out a lot more frequently. We're going to look at what are the best paid ad channels for healthcare from our experience, some good to knows, and we'll finish off with the productivity solutions grant and FAQs and Q&A from everyone who's here on the call. So, a quick introduction about our agency. We've been doing this for the last 14 years. We have worked with hundreds of brands. We've done thousands of campaigns. We've worked with a lot of medical clients. So, we work from everything from private medical clinics, aesthetic clinics, chiropractors, dentists. We have worked with an entire slew of medical services. So, we are very well positioned to discuss this. We are serving our clients right now, and we are sharing some of the things that we have seen over the years and also at present. And in terms of services that we provide SEO services for our clients. We provide GEO services. We've done content marketing for many years. We started off doing website design and development. We can also build different web apps and mobile apps for you as well. And we've been doing a lot of performance marketing, digital ads for our clients. So I'm going to be handing it over to Natalia. So Natalia is our marketing manager here at Two Stallions. She will be running you through the rest of the material. I will come back later at the end. And for me, like I mentioned, my name is Razy. I'm actually a co-founder of the agency Two Stallions. Over to you, Natalia.
All right. Thank you, Razi. Hi everyone. So I'm Natalia. So as Razi introduced, I'm a marketing manager at Two Stallions. But why I'm also presenting this webinar is because prior to joining the agency space, I was actually in the healthcare marketing space. So I've been through the whole journey of marketing clinics using, different digital strategies from SEO to ads. So as a performance marketer, those are also my areas of specialties, SEO, GEO, ads, and yeah, along with a few other areas. So I'll start off today with just with in the first section, we're just gonna have a look at how the patient journey has changed over the past few years with the use of AI. So this is a generic patient journey that's applicable to most clinics, whether it's allied health or medical, and also hospitals, but also to other kinds of healthcare services such as screening centers or yeah, so usually it starts by the patient researching, I think, the problem or their symptoms. So they might not be necessarily looking for a provider yet or to see a doctor at this stage. So they might just be wondering, oh, they might just be Googling this problem that they're having. Before they would just search more on Google, but nowadays they will also directly ask ChatGPT and the LLMs. And after that, they will, I think probably a bit later, then once they decide that they do need help, they will start to turn to these channels to look for a healthcare provider that they can, or a clinic that they can go to for this problem. And then, okay, booking inquiry, and then retention and advocacy. For marketing purposes, we're usually focused on the first two steps. Um, It's yeah, which is more the research symptoms and searching and selecting providers. So we usually marketing is focused on getting let's say your blogs or your website to turn up when patients are researching symptoms, but also when they're looking for the clinic to go to. Yep. Sorry. And now, okay, before AI, the old marketing playbook is very much focused on Google. Yeah. So so it's about uh, being able to get your clinic or clinic's website or blogs to show up on first page of Google when patient is searching for the symptoms or the provider. Yeah, so one method is to get your website or your brand to show up organically without paying for advertising, and that's what's called search engine optimization. And Another part that is very much tied to SEO is content marketing. This is where we create the content that gets you to show up in SEO. So SEO and content marketing goes very much hand in hand. If you are doing SEO, you have to do content. And when you do content, they should be SEO optimized to show up on these searches. And another route of showing up on Google is through ads. If you are not able to show up organically because let's say it's that niche is just too competitive, or if you're a new player, or if you just want to be very competitive and you want to show up both organically and through ads. So another one, if you can't show up on Google organically, you can pay for ads for that. Okay, hold on. Maybe let me illustrate that. Okay, so for example, I will just search for, okay, Heart Doctor Singapore. Okay. So this is just illustrating the search the SERP, or the search engine results page that we call it. Okay, I think give me a sec. I will also just turn on a VPN to just to just get this search to show up. So this is okay, so this is showing up organically. Okay, so on these search results, this is also organic. Okay, usually there are, okay, somehow I'm not showing for ads today, but okay, let me find that later. Let me, I'll just redo the search again. Hopefully it picks up. Yeah, so there you go. So this sponsored results are the ads results. Okay, so these that you see here, they're becoming more similar nowadays. That is harder to tell the difference. This is for the maps result. These are organic, but this one that has sponsored here, this is an ad result. So you get they get there by showing up on ads, and then you can also, yeah. So here. So that's what the Google search is usually focused on. Okay, and yeah, so but now before AI, patient searches were very much focused on Google. But by now, the search landscape has expanded and people are searching everywhere, basically. So don't get us wrong. There's a lot of saying that, is Google dead? But actually, it is not. It is still the number one search channel, but now it's just not the only one. So there's also AI overviews, and then ChatGPT. Patients would usually ask the questions directly about ChatGPT. I think for the symptoms and about the problem, they will probably consult ChatGPT a bit more. When they're looking for providers, they might do both, but they are more likely to search on Google for that. And then you have AI mode, which is yeah, I will demonstrate to you in a bit. But let's say I will search for something else. Let's say, okay, heart conditions. All right. So yeah, so this is AI overview. So Yeah, so and then if you can expand it, and then if you want to ask a bit more about this, then you type in here, and then you go into AI mode, which takes you into a chat bot by Google, which is very similar to ChatGPT, but it is called AI mode. And then nowadays, Reddit shows up a lot when patients are searching for symptoms and also for service and clinic recommendations. So yeah, so now Reddit is a highly consulted source. So you've probably seen this. You search for maybe you might just type in oh heart doctor Singapore. It didn't show up just now, but quite often it does. And then you will have some Reddit threads that is showing, other users recommending the best heart doctors in Singapore. And that yeah, that can also it can also be Quora thread as well. Although Quora is usually more for like the condition questions about the conditions and treatments. And quite often as well, now people search on YouTube, especially I think less when they're searching for the provider, what when they're trying to understand the condition or the symptom. Rather than reading an article, I think people's attention span are a bit short now. They prefer to watch a video of somebody explaining it. So this is also another way that certain clinics, gain visibility as well by creating videos on YouTube. So yeah, so now people really search everywhere that we can't afford to only concentrate on Google because we'll be missing out on all the other channels. And besides, okay, while Google search is still pretty prominent, and there's ChatGPT, another major channel that is getting a lot of attention and a lot of views is actually AI overviews. Because if, as you can see in this screenshot example here, when I search the best heart doctors in Singapore, it's not even the SEO search results that come up. The organic search results are not what comes up first. Not even the maps result. The first results that come up is this AI overview result, which is this summary. So the thing with this is that this is actually rather than ChatGPT, this is what is having the most impact on SEO today. Because when they search on Google, when they see this, yeah, they might not even feel like they need to scroll down anymore to look at the maps results or the organic search results. So they will probably just start Googling each of these providers and clicking on these links to check out each of these doctors or hospitals and centers. So this AI overviews is well known to um, to reduce clicks, but to individual websites because people don't scroll down so much anymore. So it's known to reduce clicks by 58%. So this is why in SEO today, people are getting less clicks. Generally, almost all websites, I mean, probably all, are getting less organic clicks and individual traffic in general. But it doesn't mean that they are not getting visibility because they could also get visibility through this way, such as AI overviews or ChatGPT. Yeah, so and also yeah, this AI overview shows up in about roughly about 60%, 65% of searches nowadays. So it is quite important to show up here. And yeah, so it's not saying that SEO ads and content are not worth doing anymore because because Google is still a really important channel for healthcare providers and for many businesses. Okay, but they just need to be adapted on how patients search today. So um so we cannot just do traditional SEO as anymore. The SEO strategy has to be adapted so that the business can show up on both Google and has a greater chance of being cited by AI, whether it's ChatGPT or AI overviews. And for paid ads, we can Google Ads is still number one, but yeah, we can consider expanding across other platforms. So I'll go into these strategies a bit more in depth in a minute, because the next segment, we're going to go more in depth into the organic search strategies, which are SEO and GEO. Uh, so so yeah, with SEO, okay, so just to clarify the difference between these two, because you probably have heard so many terms from AI search, SEO, GEO, AEO. What are all of these? But just to simplify things, the main you can probably classify them between Google search or search engines and AI engines. So GEO and AEO, yeah, they're all pretty much talking about the same thing, which are the AI chatbots such as ChatGPT, but it also covers AI overviews, AI mode, Claude, Gemini. Okay, while SEO refers to trying to get your brand to show up on Google's first page, the search engine, just like I demonstrated earlier. So in GEO, the aim is to do all the optimizations and all the efforts to get your brand or website to be mentioned by AI. So the key, the way that we say it is that you get cited or mentioned by AI rather than rank as we do for search engines. And so today, a complete SEO strategy or organic strategy requires you to do both SEO and GEO to cover both fronts. Okay, and there's a lot of talks that you might hear that it's not, oh, is SEO dead? Is it not worth doing SEO anymore because there's ChatGPT now? The data, a lot of I think LinkedIn posts or maybe social media posts tend to dramatize this a bit more, but the data and what the SEO experts actually know is that we all know that Google is still way, way larger than AI search. So yeah, so it's for about 2.5 billion prompts that are searched for ChatGPT every day, you get 13.7 billion searches processed by Google. So most people are still searching on Google, and ChatGPT and the other LLMs are still a very small share. So 2.5 versus 13.7 billion, just to put that into perspective. And Google is still the channel that is most likely to send visitors to your website rather than ChatGPT. When people go on ChatGPT, they they are less likely to click out and browse individual websites. They're more likely to stay in that conversation. But yeah, Google, when people search on Google, usually they have more commercial intent. Um, when people search on ChatGPT, they are looking more for informational answers, such as, oh yeah, I have these symptoms. What could this mean? What are the symptoms of this disease? But then when they're searching for a specific provider, they really want to make a decision who they want to see. They more often search on Google because they want to they want to have a look at the individual websites and read about the doctors and clinics that they're considering. So Google is well known to be geared toward commercial search, the ones that actually bring you business. So that's why it's still really important to show up on Google. And yeah, but how Google ranks pages nowadays have also changed. Uh, Before it was simpler. You doing SEO many years ago, it's focused on inserting keywords and then having a strong domain authority, um, which is having your website having a lot of other websites linked to your website. And so those used to be the main factors, but now Google has become a lot more sophisticated in determining which are the best websites to show to each user, because their aim is to provide a positive user experience for you and everybody who search on Google, so that you'll keep using the platform more. So they are continually trying to improve the information and that they serve up to you. So now they are relying on a much wider range of signals to provide the best recommendations for each user. So they look the number one ranking factor for Google, what determines um, what gives the most weight to who shows up on the first earlier in the organic search, who ranks number one, two, or three, is actually quality content. So this is how much they try to assess how much the user finds likes a particular page based on factors like how much time do they spend when they on that page, on that website, and how long they scroll. Do they scroll down just 50%? Do they scroll down 80%, which is very good, or do they scroll just 20% and then leave the website? Then it becomes that sends a negative signal to Google. So if you get a lot of those signals where they just scroll a little bit, or they have a very quick, they land on your website and then they exit really fast, that those kind of things would send a negative signal to Google that will downrank the website over time. Yeah. So and another one is backlinks and domain authority. So what this is a measure of website or brand strength by Google. So they look at how many other how often your brand is mentioned on the, okay, actually that one is brand signals, but backlinks is more when for example, okay, maybe I will just go to uh, let me medical center. I will just do a search just to, yeah, just to illustrate what is a backlink. So, for example, okay, so a backlink is a link from a website, another website that is not your own website. So, for example, we have this is Far East Organization, and it is having a link to Novena Medical Center. And okay, usually it has to be linkable like this one. You click on this and then you're taken to Novena Medical Center's website. So this is a backlink basically. So the most valuable backlinks are the ones that are from sources that are most trustworthy for the industry. So if it's maybe a government, an MOH website, for example, or let's say you're a podiatrist, so the Podiatry Association's website, to get a link from those kind of websites will score more points with Google in this. Technical SEO is how fast your website loads when people visits it, and a wide range of other things. So this is like how healthy your website is, such as how fast it loads, but also that have you ever, visit a website and then you click on links and then you keep going into these not found pages or these error pages, like images are missing and you just have that icon. Those kind of things are what counts as technical health in SEO. So technical SEO is focused on fixing all those factors so that you have a healthy website that provides a positive user experience. And yeah, so of course, optimizing for keywords. And but now what's also important for Google and also the AI platforms is brand signals, like how often your brand is mentioned in the digital world. So this is not just so this can be in other websites, such as the association's websites, MOH, Health Hub, but also can be blogs as well, such as let's say an influencer that has a blog mentions that she goes to your clinic or sees this doctor. That counts as another point. Somebody mentions your brand on Reddit, on Instagram, on, yeah, anywhere. Google can pick that up, and then that counts as signals. And the more your brand is mentioned, the more reputable your website or your brand seem in the eyes of Google. Schema markup is more of a technical SEO optimization that we usually put to to make the website more readable to Google. So yeah, that's also a factor, but not as strong as all these other ones. And also user experience, so which comes together with quality content. So having a quality website is really important. So for healthcare SEO, what to focus on today? So the classic SEO foundations, such as keyword research, still is really important. To be able to rank on AI, a lot of people don't say this. You actually need the SEO foundations in the first place. Otherwise, you can't just skip that and do a few tricks and run rank on AI. That doesn't work. AI also pulls their research from search engines as well, such as Google and other search engines. So it's quite important that you build the foundation to show up on Google search and other search engines, and then you layer on the extra optimizations for AI, which I'll talk about later. So doing keyword research is still the core foundation of SEO, and another key element is to build condition and treatment pages for every common condition in your niche. Yeah, so maybe let me just try to search. I will use I'll continue on with the heart doctor theme. Okay, so for example, I will just use this website, okay, this cardiology website. So yeah, so it's important that people when people are searching for, let's say, cardiology services or another niche, they might go quite specific, like just they're looking for tests. So if a lot of people are looking for a cardiac test, for example, you need to have a page for that. And that's how that you can get your brand or your website to show up in Google or search engines. And that page has to be quite comprehensive as well. And if you have another common condition that is people come for, then you need to have a page for that condition as well. Yeah, so that's what I mean by building a condition and treatment page for every key ones in your niche. And those pages also need to be optimized with SEO as well. So that's where on-page SEO come in, and your website has to be healthy as well, because if your website is not healthy, it's very slow. It's not accessible to AI as well. And yeah, besides Google search, and you need to build backlinks and local SEO as well, which I'll talk about next. Okay, so local SEO is this is especially important for a lot of for healthcare and a lot of brick and mortar business where you have a physical place that people go to for your service. So okay, so the aim of local SEO is to be found when patients are searching for a clinic near them. So yeah, because when people are searching for a clinic, usually it's depending on which specialty it is. But for, let's say, GPs, location is probably the most important factor, because there are so many GPs in every neighborhood. They would want to go to one that is closest to them. So usually they consult this map search more than the organic results below it. But for maybe if you are a like a specialty that is not there's not so many in Singapore, there's only like a few here and there. Let's say if it's a gynae, okay, gynae, people still do want to see one close to them if they can, but people are more willing to travel to go to like to see a well-known or popular gynae. So they might scroll down to browse more. But yeah, but showing up for local SEO is really essential for healthcare businesses. So to do this is you usually need to optimize the Google My Business profile uh, in addition to the website. So the Google My Business profile is okay, maybe I will search for another one now. So, okay, let's say I search for physiotherapist in Orchard because I work in Orchard, let's say. So, and then I would go to this, and then I will usually, when I'm trying to decide between all of these, I will click on the individual ones and look at their business profile and see, okay, like how attractive it is, how many reviews they have. So having the building here, it doesn't help. It's better to have, let's say, smiling photos of your doctors. So this is a bit better. And for local SEO, the most coveted results is to show up in this local pack, which is this three places. Usually it's three. But it's not the only way because it is very competitive to show up here. People quite often also click on more places and browse more to make a better decision. They will look at the reviews, photos, services. So it's really important to optimize this profile. You need to fill up the services. um, you need to make sure that it's easy to book. Like this is quite well optimized. If patients want to book, they can just click here. And you need to put in all the possible categories as well. The categories show up here that people can search your service on. So that's local SEO, but it also involves adding location keywords to your website. If, let's say, your majority of your patients um, tend to come from a specific neighborhood, then it is worth doing to add in the names of the neighborhood in your website's metadata or page, such as instead of just physiotherapist, could be physiotherapist in Raffles or Orchard. If But that one has to be based on keyword research as well. If a lot of people actually search for your niche plus that location. But this is not for all. So if, for example, your patients tend to come from all over Singapore, then it's better to just keep it generic. And for GEO, for what matters now for GEO, for AI, um, what is important to show up in AI? So the SEO foundations that I mentioned earlier are all important. Okay, so but on top of those, AI looks at a few signals a little bit more. They give a bit more weight to these signals rather than search engines. One is that they look at the specialty and the experience of the clinic. So they will actually, so they will, maybe if I just I'll do a simple search on ChatGPT just to simulate. Okay, recommend the best. Okay, I'll do podiatry next in Singapore. Okay. Oh wait, maybe. Okay, never mind. We will just do an instant one. So when you search on this, how do they come up with the results of the best podiatrist to recommend? So they actually look at many factors to come up with these lists. So they would actually, the AI would read through the websites, and they would look at many things, such as okay, let me just go back to my slide, such as how many years is the experience of the doctors there? Let's say in that clinic, a lot of the doctors are mentioned to have more than 10 years of experience. That clinic will seem to be more reputable in the eyes of AI rather than a clinic when there's, let's say, just one doctor and there's no mention of how many years of experience he is. Um, and if a clinic seems to be very specialized, so let's say if it's a heart clinic and they have, let's say, 10 doctors specializing in different areas of cardiology, then that clinic will seem to be more reputable as well. So because of this, it's really important to make your doctor profiles very comprehensive. Yes, the doctor credentials. And if you are a single clinic, like single doctor clinic, I mean, it doesn't mean that you're not going to show up, but you need to put in a lot of information that shows your credibility on the website as well. besides such as your years experience, your areas of specialty, and you need to make the information very comprehensive. And they also look at reviews as well. So AI actually in the background, they will search for Google reviews, such as yeah, see, they do even mention it here, the review ratings. So they will see how many reviews, Google reviews or other reviews the clinics has, and also the rating as well, the average rating. The higher, the better, definitely. And also how often your brand or doctors are mentioned and cited online, like we talk about. If there's many mentions of your clinic everywhere, uh, yeah, it will just seem more credible. So basically, both Google and AI are trying to imitate the how humans search, actually. So they look, I mean, we look at all these things usually when we search, but AI does it in a split second. Yeah, so I will okay, I will run through the rest of the slides a bit more quickly to give us more time. But as I said before, content marketing goes hand in hand with SEO. So a content strategy that works for both Google search and AI is to build a content library that makes you seem like an authority in that field. Yeah, so that's why this can work very well, even if your clinic doesn't have a lot of doctors or it's not a very big clinic. So let's say if you're in podiatry, you would want content on every possible topic that your patient come to you about, that patients ask you about. So you all the different conditions that you cover, and then the subtopics about that, like the more, the better. But quality also matters. So now just AI generating content automatically and posting it. Yeah, what the experts find that yeah, it usually doesn't get as much results because when the content is fully AI generated with no human checks, human optimization, the quality is a bit poor and people are not as engaged when they read it. So it can be AI generated, but then it has to be heavily edited usually. And we need to add on the SEO optimizations, write it in a GEO format, AI friendly format such as conversational tone. We add FAQ sections. So this is basically how the SEO teams would create the content usually. We would do keyword research. We will see what are the questions people actually search about. And we would put the doctors as the authors as well, because this sends more signals of credibility for that article. So all these factors help for the increase the chance for that content to show up on Google search, and also when the patients are searching for information about that condition, that for the AI to also cite your content or your website as the source. So yeah, so this is just a case study just to tie it together. So this is one of Two Stallions clients, which is a private cardiology clinic that we work with. When they first came in, they usually the challenges are lack of leads or lack of patient inquiries, and also they have very few reviews, which also contributed to the low patient inquiries. So what the team worked on is that they did a quite comprehensive SEO campaign on this. They built all the possible service pages and treatment for pages covering, all the most common conditions and treatments for that niche. And they also built blog pages on the most popular cardiology topics and also the most common questions that are asked by cardiology clients. And they improved the website's technical SEO to make it faster and more user friendly, no like minimal errors, optimize the Google business profiles. And they also went an extra mile by helping the clinic to implement a patient review request system to help grow the reviews, because growing the reviews is a vital part of increasing the leads. Um, so that the patient, when they see more reviews, they can trust that they can have more trust to inquire, and also to increase both the visibility in Google business profile, local SEO, AI as well. So after the result of the campaign is there's close to about 2000% increase in the organic traffic of that for their website. And yeah, so they really expanded their patient base to the point that a year or so after that, they have a lot of patient inquiries, not just from Singapore, but also from the surrounding countries in Southeast Asia. So yeah, they get a lot of medical tourism clients as well because those uh, potential patients from other countries, they also turn to Google search to search for the doctors in Singapore. So that's just a an example of how SEO can help. And but it's important to remember that SEO and the website also goes hand in hand. The website has to be good enough as well. It doesn't have to be amazing, but it has to be good enough that the patient, when they come on it, they would want to browse. So it's important to have a user-friendly website as well that is fast loading and technically sound. So this is why our SEO and website team also often work hand in hand because it's quite often some businesses want to do SEO, but then they realize they need to improve the website as well. So yeah, that's where our website team comes in and works hand in hand with the SEO team. And now, okay, so I'll just briefly run through the best paid ads channels for healthcare. Uh, so so Google is still the key channel. Google, if you want to run ads to increase the leads to your clinic, Google Ads is still the key channel, and it's Google Search Ads to make it more specific because they capture people that are actually searching for your service. So because we can select the keywords that we want the ad to show for, we can select the keywords that have high intent, such as people searching for chiropractor Singapore or chiropractor near me. They really want to see a chiropractor, so they have a much higher chance of booking an appointment. And you can show up as I said, in the Google Maps. There's this uh, way that you can show up in the map search as well, like a sponsored result. That is by adding a location extension through Google Ads. So yeah, that is also still by Google Ads. And we can also make it so that you can target a specific neighborhood as well if that is your key market. Okay. So the with Google Ads, the main thing is that the cost per click will vary very widely by specialty. So I've so it is and it is known that certain industries are highly competitive, such as plastic surgery, medical aesthetics, the cost per click can be much higher. So that means each time somebody clicks on this ad, let me just do this. Yeah. So each time somebody clicks on the ad, then how much it costs. It can range from, let's say, like a few dollars, but it can also sometimes go as high as like $20 for the highly competitive niche. Yeah, the only way is to run a simulation on Google Ads Planner usually. And though there's different types of Google Ads campaign, but the ones that usually generate the best leads are still search. Yeah, rather than PMAX and display, which we usually recommend to use more for retargeting or to support the search campaign. Meta ads. Okay, should I advertise on Meta or Google? That's a common question. From usually the team's experience, Google ads still generate the best leads, but Meta ads can be effective for retargeting because we have this retargeting function on Meta where you can target to show ads on when let's say that person visits your website, the Meta pixel captures that as a visitor, and then next time that they can show ads on when that person browse Instagram or Facebook of your brand. Yeah, so it will show up your in IG and Facebook content. So yeah, so that is one great use case of Meta ads. And also when your demographic in a is you have a very specific demographic, such as you're targeting parents, or you are targeting older females for medical aesthetic or a fertility service. And nowadays, they also have this cool feature called click to WhatsApp ads. So it allows them to they see the ad on Meta Instagram and they click and they can connect to that business through WhatsApp directly, which greatly increases the conversion rate of them inquiring because it's so easy. So it's not easy to run a successful advertising campaign. You need to have a strong landing page that is conversion optimized. You need to have the right targeting, strong creatives, the right bidding strategy, and you need to implement technical conversion tracking as well so that the AI uh, can well optimize for the kind of patients that convert. So yeah, this is what usually like the agency teams usually set up when they run an ads campaign. Yeah, so this is also just another case study of how an aesthetic clinic that we worked with, they how they wanted to double increase their leads as well. So they used Google search ads in combination with display for remarketing. You can also do remarketing on Google, and also they combine it with a Meta ads campaign as well to target the right demographic for an aesthetic clinic. And yeah, so this is how they saw an increase after the campaign. They saw around double increase in their leads. So ads can be like a much quicker way to generate leads than SEO. So in terms of when you are doing marketing for healthcare and also ads, this applies to both what you write on your website as well as running ads. It's important to follow the specific regulations for your region. So we have HCSA for Singapore and also for Malaysia, we have other guidelines as well. So it's important to do this so that you don't risk um, getting a fine or anything worse than the medical authorities. And another common question is that should we do social media? Okay, you have so much if you have the so yeah, if you can prioritize SEO and then ads, those are usually the more lead generating channels. Social media is usually not a lead generating channel in healthcare, but it can be a supporting channel, such as that they search about your brand, they look at your website, and they're trying to decide which one to go to, and then they check out the social media. Oh wow, this brand has like quite cool content. Oh wow, the doctors there seem friendly, and they might end up choosing that brand. So yeah, social media can play a role to support your overall marketing effort, but it's not the most essential channel for yeah, for healthcare usually. So if you have very little time, if you have if you can do all, do all. But then if you have very limited resources or time, then do focus on the basics like SEO, especially SEO is usually and your website is usually the core basic. And another common question, should I invest in SEO or GEO or ads? So SEO takes time usually to show results. Free is not going to be fast. If you want to be fast, you have to pay, basically. Yeah, so if you can afford to wait, SEO usually can generate a better ROI in the long term because you do it and then the results usually can come a bit later. Will come later, but then you don't have to pay for every click to your website. With ads, it can generate results faster, but then once you stop your ads budget, then the leads will stop. Yeah, so there's pros and cons in both. But if you really need the patients urgently, then yeah, do ads. If you can afford both to do both, then do both. That's what actually majority of the competitive medical brands, they actually do both nowadays. Yeah, and I've tried SEO or ads before, but it didn't work. This is most common when the business has engaged like a really cheap SEO service, let's say, like let's say by a freelancer who does like quite minimal. So yeah, usually SEO it needs to be really comprehensive to work. And Yeah, so I will send these slides later for everybody. So it can be so you can browse through these on your own as well. So now I will hand over the next section to Razi, who will speak about PSG. This is more relevant to Singapore businesses, but it'll be quite a fast section. So yeah, over to you, Razi.
Thank you, Natalia, for bringing us through the very insightful session on all the cool things that healthcare marketers can do. So we're going to be looking at productivity solutions grant. So if you're a Singapore-based, Singapore-registered business, the government has this grant called PSG, which you can tap into only once. So if you've already tapped into PSG for your digital marketing, you won't be able to use this again. So if you go to the next slide, in terms of the productivity solutions grant, what you can tap into. It's a pretty big grant. There are many other services there. I think as a business, you can qualify for up to $30,000. But for the digital marketing segment, you can only tap into it once. So for the productivity solutions grant, PSG, you could only work with pre-approved vendors. So our company has been a pre-approved vendor for the past 3 to 4 years. The great thing is you can get 50% off the cost of qualifying solutions. So what this means is there are pre-approved packages that you can select, which I'll show you in a bit, and you will get 50% off the investment for that. So to qualify, you need to be registered in Singapore. 30% of your shareholding needs to be Singaporean or PR or citizen, and you need to be making less than $100 million a year. And in terms of packages that we have, so we have packages for SEO, for digital advertising. We have packages for social media marketing as well. So there are 5 packages that you can select. In terms of what the medical clinics go, what they usually select is package 5, which is looking at SEO and SEM, paid advertising. Then package 3 is very popular as well, where brands get us to help them with their SEO and their content marketing. So those are package 3 and 5 are very popular, and there are some organizations that get us to do Google ads and also social media ads for them. That's package 4. So in terms of the way it works is you will need to apply for the grant first, get approval. Once it is approved, usually the process takes between 1 to 2 weeks. Once it's approved, then we can start working on the project. We work together for 6 months. At the end of the 6 months, you can apply for the reimbursement. So maybe you can go to the next slide. Let's skip this slide, go to the next slide. So what we can do is usually the packages, they cost up to $9,900. So you will be reimbursed 50% of that. One thing to note is the grant does not cover advertising spend. So if you're spending money on Google ads, if you're spending money on Facebook, Instagram ads, the ad budget is not part of the grant. It is not subsidized by the government. But in terms of agency services, that is subsidized. And of course, if you're not sure where to start, what's the right approach for your clinic, we've been doing this for 14 years. We can give you a free 30-minute digital strategy consultation. Our team can give you a free SEO and website audit, and we can also do a check whether or not you qualify for the grant. So at the end of today's session, there will be an email that will be sent to you with the links to book a consultation. So if you're based in Singapore, you can book a consultation for all 3, including the PSG check. But if you're based in Malaysia, you can get the strategy consultation and the SEO and website audit. So Suba, yes, exactly. So this service, it is provided for Malaysian entities as well. We do have a Malaysian entity, but in terms of the government grant, is only for Singapore-based businesses. So now is a good time to ask your questions. There's already a question from Suba. Hello, Furqat. Thanks for joining the session. Michelle earlier asked the name of the company. I've shared the link. So our agency is called Two Stallions Digital Marketing Agency. We have a presence in Singapore. So we have private limited in Singapore. In Malaysia, we are Two Stallions and Dirian Berhad. So if you go to the website, you can actually see the drop down between Singapore and Malaysia. So yeah, please ask your questions. We have Natalia as well. So if you have any questions from the presentation that she made earlier, you can also ask her then.
Yeah, so you can post your questions in the chat now, and then yeah, we will answer them one by one. Any questions? Uh, okay, so I see a question from Michelle here. Do the packages include building websites? So for we don't, the packages are more for digital marketing services, so they don't include a website package. Yeah, so usually the website, but we do have a separate website services, website packages, but they are not covered by the PSG grant, but it can yeah, you can still engage our website services, yeah, but without the grant. Okay, and I see one by Keegan, can cite the performance of the podiatry clinic. Okay, that I was just choosing a random, I was actually choosing a random like, yeah, I just typed in the random search on ChatGPT and Google, and yeah, so I don't know those brands personally, or what digital marketing they do, because this is very insider information. But I can see that most of the ones that show up first, I am very confident they would have hired like an agency or done some kind of comprehensive SEO. Yeah, so it is because yeah, it is quite competitive. Majority of the major players in healthcare usually would have done like SEO just to get the basic foundations for digital. Okay, so now we have a lot more coming in. Give me a sec. I will just um, go through them one by one. Okay, by Tina, Google Rank. You mentioned Google Rank based on a few factors. One of them is how much time viewers stay on your web page. Does that equate to bounce rate? Yeah, that's a good question. Yes, bounce rate is actually how is the opposite of time on page. It's the percentage or number of users that leave your website very quickly, just right after there's a certain number of seconds, I forgot, that makes it as the criteria, but you want to have lesser bounce rate basically if you want to have more time on page and more chance of ranking. And for Padma, for the content you come up with, for the content, for the whole website content or particular pages, and if so, what is the medical authority do and don't? Where can I find those info for? Okay, hold on, let me just reread this. Yeah, you have to come up with the whole website content usually, but then you have to do many different pages usually for that website. Yeah, so you cannot just do one page and rank. You need to do many pages. Let's say, okay, I mean this goes with like our human perception as well. Let's say you go to a particular website, and that website of that clinic only has is a one pager. It only has what the clinic is, and there's no other information. What is going to be your impression of that clinic? Maybe not super credible, right? Versus you go to another clinic's website, and it's very comprehensive. They have information on the doctors, the years of experience where the doctor worked before. They cover so many different treatments, so many different like conditions. And what would be your impression of that website? You will feel that, wow, okay, this one must be quite credible, I better go to this one. So that's how Google and AI also sees website. They try to emulate the way we do actually. And okay, so there's quite a lot, so I will just pick a few randomly. For the packages and the charges, we can, okay, if you book a consultation, the free consultation, we can share it with you a bit more about the prices of our PSG packages and also regular packages. Can you guarantee ranking first page? Um, uh, Within a certain period. Usually with SEO, there is a like a really wide range of factors, okay, that contribute. So it is usually like, yeah, agencies, different agencies do it differently. Okay, majority will not give a guarantee, but there's some that I knew if they give a guarantee, they provide like a realistic guarantee. So again, just to manage expectations, SEO is not like magic. Like you hire an SEO agency and you will for sure appear on the first or two result, or let's say we try to, because a lot of it depends on other factors that are outside the SEO team's control as well, such as how long has your brand been around and how old is your website and how many other how often your brand is mentioned, how many reviews you have. We try everything in our power that we can do to maximize the chance of you ranking. Okay, but then there are some factors like how old is your brand been around, that is beyond the team's control. So yeah, because of those factors, usually yeah, we can't really provide a guarantee, but the team usually will do their best to maximize the chances for each business they work with. And okay, yeah. So in terms of Keegan's, okay, going back to Keegan's comment, yes. So what are okay, I see what you mean, not to reveal the clients, but what are the top few being cited are doing to help them rank well? Actually, it's pretty much a lot of the factors that I mentioned previously on how to rank on SEO, GEO. Those are all the factors within our control that we can do to maximize the chance of businesses ranking. Uh, and so Okay, for the backlink services, usually the backlink services is a part of most SEO service, whether it's with our agency or others. So because backlinks, it's very important to do backlinks to get more backlinks to boost SEO. So it is part of our service. So our uh, backlinks team, for example, they will look for websites that they can naturally place your brand in, contact the the authority of that website, or if there's, some directories, medical directories or other places you should be on, then they will, yeah. So there is like a whole, they do outreach. We call this backlink outreach. Yeah. And so it is, yeah, part of the brand. And then do website. Okay. Do the website portals make a difference on the searches? Usually not really. So it doesn't, if you do it on WordPress, it doesn't mean it will get less SEO visibility than, let's say, Wix or any other platform. What matters is the health of your website, regardless of what platform you build it on, like how fast it is. And that depends on many other factors, like how you built the website, what kind of image formats you use, and also it's free. It has minimal errors and missing pages. Yeah. So yes, so I think I covered, I think, most of the questions. So I guess we can end here for today. And I will also send the slides to everybody after the meeting. So you can, yeah, you can take your time to read through them. And I just want to thank everybody for attending. I hope you find this useful. And if you feel that you need a more deep consult for each of your brand, because each for Oh, sorry. I'm not sure why it it suddenly went off just now, but okay. Anyway, I was just finishing. What I was saying is that if you would like a more in-depth session, do feel free to book a consult with any of our consultants. They can study your business a bit more, and then provide the recommendations. And if it's relevant to you, if it's in your interest, they can also, after the consultation, they can work on doing a website and SEO audit and then share with you the results. So it's no obligations. So don't worry, it doesn't mean you book that and then yeah, you have to take up a service with us. It's yeah, so we will share with you the consult links after the webinar. So do look out for that in your email. So, well, is there any last thing you want to add, Razi?
No, that's all. Thank you for making time to join us. Hope you found value, and we look forward to working with some of you, and we look forward to continuing this conversation. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Natalia.
Yeah, thanks, everyone.